I was listening to the Last Crucibles uh, last video that he did, and he touched on a lot of great different topics. And one topic that he touched on was us as brothers. We need to learn to start encouraging each other when it comes down to black male superiority. We have to learn to start to learn to encourage one another. That's what we have to do. He was saying that he listened to uh, some guy's live stream, and he was talking about some military army or something like that, and how they're preserving themselves or whatever, and like uh, they are the white man is they are obviously more populated in America versus the black man, obviously, and this American army is one of the armies that can actually go to other countries and set up militias in different countries. I don't see China and Beijing and these other foreign military camps coming over here to America and setting up their regimes in their armies and their camps or whatever. But as black men, we have to learn about military tactics and learn how to shoot, learn how to fight, learn how to protect ourselves. Uh, this is what we must learn about as black men. This is what we have to learn about in order to preserve ourselves. I'd say one of the only ways that we really can uh, change is we would have to leave this place here in America. We'd have to leave. We'd have to take up and we'd have to leave. Uh, yeah, just a couple other points earlier. I was a little bit more enthusiastic, but now I'm just laying back, relaxing. But I just thought I would drop this drop this video now. Another point that yeah, well, just going back and touching on that. But as brothers, we have to learn to stand strong, and we have to learn to stand alone. You see, because we are alone. Uh, Even though black women, they are our women, but it's like they're colluding with the white man. So as black men, like I was saying earlier, we have to learn to stand alone. Nobody stands with the black man. I say the black man is the most hated because uh, all these other different nationalities, they know what we capable of. So as brothers, we have to learn to encourage each other at all times. This is something that we have to do. When we talk about other races and how they're progressive and how they're moving forward, uh, at the end of the day, your message should be trying to encourage other black men. Bottom line. Um, he touched on another topic as far as, but when it comes down to worshiping and putting the Most High first, guys, I know there are some guys out there who uh, in a sense they stay away from spirituality or the Bible or this and that. But I say when he talked about uh, the Most High and getting into that Bible, it really touched me deep. It touched me really, really deep. I never thought about it like this. But if you not trying to trying to keep that connection with the Most High, getting into His Word, most likely you're going to become a simp. You will become a weak and a passive guy because there is no direction. When you leave your mom, that male mother need, when you're young, you leave your mom. It's a lot of us guys out here, especially a lot of us that's being raised by single mothers. We don't know how to control our emotions. Uh, we've been raised by single mothers. So now we become emotional as men, and for the most part, we'll chase after vagina or that companionship of a woman because, like, we have this male mother need on the inside. You see? So as a man, you should be seeking after the Most High, asking Him for directions as to where He will want to lead you. Otherwise, you're going to be a weak simp. Most likely, you'll be out here making mistakes, no direction, being a whoremonger, just lost out here in this world. And in a sense, that's me. That's in a sense, that was me. Just no direction out here, because you got guys out here who don't who don't talk to their mom, don't talk to their dads, mom and dad, drug addicts, crack addicts, heroin addicts. They just don't communicate with their mom and their dad, which a man should. You should always, I'd say, as a man, you should have a coalition or a circle of other men that you should be able to talk to, that you should be able to confide in. But most high, but more than that, you have to seek the Most High. But as brothers, we always need somebody here and there to encourage us about manly stuff and just giving us manly advice and manly suggestions, red pill suggestions. Uh, like, we should always have that. But unfortunately, it's like a lot of us guys out here are being raised by single mothers. So sometimes, for the most part, we will talk to our girlfriend or talk to our wives about uh, manly stuff that we should be talking to another man about, especially big decisions where we should be discussing this amongst men, not women, because you cannot put your trust in women if you don't turn to the Most High. And I know it's a little bit spiritual. I'm getting off that, getting into the spiritual path here, but that's where it's at, though. That's where it's at, and that's where you should be going for direction. Uh, but yeah, the brother Last Crucible, he touched on a lot of topics in that video. It was just a great video. As I think about it, like, and as I think deeply about that specific video, I say to myself, I've been living all wrong. A lot of uh, people that I've been listening to, and some of the things that I've been wrong as far as chasing after women, taking advice from crash test dummy type people. Yeah, I've been living all wrong. You see? So as a person, you have to just be able to wake up, be aware if you make some mistakes, because there's always room for improvement. And as a man, you want to have, you want to be introspective so you can make the right moves and avoid pitfalls and this and that. Does one of the another topic that he touched on is, as a man, you have to know your place and you have to know your role when it comes down to dealing with the female. She's the servant. That's it. He talked about some live stream that he was watching, and it was this guy that was talking to another guy, and this other guy was telling him basically, you should do what you can to entertain a woman. And in a sense, that's not how it should be. You shouldn't be buck dancing trying to entertain a woman. It's supposed to be the other way around. It doesn't supposed to be like that. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and I told him that I had went on a date with this black chick, banged her out, was with her for like 2 weeks or whatever, And then all of a sudden, we wasn't cohabitating or none of that. All of a sudden, she just flat out asked me for $50 to help her pay some light bill or something. And I told her I don't give women money unless she's actually my wife or live-in girlfriend or whatever. Like, I don't do that. And my cousin he said to me like, why didn't you just give her the money if you really liked her? I I mentioned that around my little sister as well, and she said the same thing. Oh, you should have gave her the money. You should have gave her the money. This is what she said. You see? And I had to let my cousin know, yeah, we totally think differently. I'm not gonna give a woman because and I'm not trying to come down on a guy that's a trick or a John, because if you think about a married man or a guy that's in a relationship, uh, stay in girlfriend or whatever, in house girlfriend, uh, you think of a guy who has a wife. He's gonna go buy his woman a $5,000-$10,000 ring, take her on trips. So you spend either way, you gonna pay. Either way, you gonna spend money. But to a certain degree, and my man Black Ram made a video about this. To a certain degree, that trick or that John, uh, to a certain degree, he's coming out a little bit better when he actually goes and gives a woman the money and uh, copulate with her, copulate with her, and send her on about her business versus the guy who's actually marrying her, going on trips, buying diamond rings, jewelry, clothes, all this other stuff. Uh, so at the end of the day, you're still gonna pay. You still you're still gonna pay at the end of the day. But I was letting you guys know about that little story as far as uh, my cousin was saying, well, you should have just gave her the money. But I'm just not that type of guy. I'm not gonna just flat out give a woman some money and let her go and do whatever she want to do with it. And just no, just that's just not me. I would take a woman out on a date to a movie, spend $15-$20. I would do it like that. Uh, yeah, and because you got guys out here who make it bad for regular guys. I'm thinking of extreme tricks like guys like Lil Wayne and Drake and guys simps like that, guys actually buying women cars and co-signing for cars and paying women's rent and stuff like that. That's major tricking. That's that's just extreme. Ultimately, the woman's supposed to be doing for you. She's supposed to be giving you money. It's, it's supposed to be the other way around. You got a guy like Lil Wayne going to the club and he's tipping a female and he going to the club spending $5,000-$10,000. And then when she comes and she meets a regular guy like me, see, guys like that, they mess it up for just regular guys like me and you. When she comes to meet a guy like me, she's going to have high expectations because of what these other rich guys have given her. And that's a problem I was hearing from some traveler guy who would travel abroad and go overseas. And he had a problem with that as well because guys go overseas and they would inflate the price of vagina. They would go overseas. I'd say he was saying that to fool around with the average chick, it's like 30, 40 US dollars. It's not too bad. But you got some guys who go over there from America and they're extremely thirsty and they would inflate the price of vagina. They would feel bad for the chick because she's a single mother or she's just extremely cute or whatever. So due to us American guys, we got a lot of money, and we say, oh, $30 not nothing. So we would give her 70, 80, 90 to $100, and that would deflate the price of vagina. As men, we can't do that. That's a major problem. We can't do that. Uh, yeah, and my man, Adigan Force, he had just dropped a video as well, sort of talking about just the length of relationships nowadays. And it's just relationships are trending in the wrong way because it's getting to a point as to where you being a real man, you can't deal with a woman for more than a few months.